My wife and I, M, are both 60-ish and married greater than 30 years. I have been in a dead bedroom since my kids were born, over 20 years ago. I lived with that for many years, believing that if I was not wanted, I would not want. Almost 2 years ago, I realized that I could no longer deal with that, and after some months had the talk. We have been sporadically working on it. At first I was resentful and demanding, then she took 10 months of no sexual contact to feel secure and decided to invest in my happiness. Since then, we are attempting repair in fits and starts. Most recently, there's been a month with no activity, in part illnesses and things arising, and in part, my view, avoidance. That flipped a switch for me. I came to the conclusion that this liminal space was more than likely the way it was gonna be. That put the burden on me to decide whether or not to live out the rest of my life that way. Yesterday I was tidying up various piles of stuff, including some papers and pocket-sized notebooks. I had already put them in the discard pile, but then opened one to make sure it wasn't anything cute from the kids when they were young. Nope. It was my wife mooning about whether she was truly in love with him. It took me a while to accept it was her. I wanted to refute the handwriting I recognized. It was also hard to tell who the guy was. Unbelievable to me. It's an older, 15 to 20 years older, family friend from abroad, who is in town once or twice a year. Like many stories here, it was about her getting lots of attention from him, at a time when I wasn't, I guess. I remember working on that back then. Here's the wrinkle: she never did anything, said anything to him, and he never went out of bounds. Just this obsession on her part, waking up thinking of him, going to sleep thinking of him, including physically. The notebooks covered about 6 weeks, and ended inconclusively. That is, she knew she had to refocus on her marriage, but still had feelings and thoughts. She talks about not wanting to hurt me and preserve our marriage. It gets worse. She had a similar unacted upon dalliance with a good male friend and collaborator. It went further, in that they talked about it, and he wanted to take it forwards, and she declined. She has continued to be good friends with him since, though he married, divorced, and is now in another relationship overseas. She said she wanted him twice at various points. She also said she flirted shamelessly, had infatuations, but this type of head over heels was not often. I've been a zombie, trying to go through the motions but audibly sighing and groaning at times of day. My wife has been sick, so less aware of my condition than she otherwise might be. I was feeling so bad about taking any actions that would endanger what we had, just for sex. Boy, I sure don't feel bad about that now. I was the breadwinner for 30 years, laid off and haven't been able to get a job in a year. My wife has prospered in her career and is making close to what I was. My inclination is to attempt to get by normally, though I don't have much of a poker face. Figure out what to do next, interview some lawyers. I don't know which way is up, I don't know how I feel. I guess I need to get my options in order. If we split, ourselves and our assets, without an income, one will not be impoverished but not in very good shape either. If the first 15 to 20 years of my marriage had these 2 serious episodes, what's been happening in the latest 15 years? How many non-serious flings were there? Did she have physical one-night stands that didn't mean anything? I mean, if she could allow herself to love someone, what would be the big deal with a little relief? She had desire, just not for me. If she's been hiding these episodes for 15 years, how can I believe anything she'd say? I'm going crazy trying to think what to do, including confrontation, after I understand my options, backed up by a demand for a polygraph. Which sound absurd, except to those of us in this predicament. What I'd like is for any long-time marrieds who have dealt with such a situation to tell me what steps you took, and what worked or didn't. I've been on Reddit for dead bedrooms, so please limit responses to those that have actually lived it, not the knee-jerk divorce suggestion. Not that it's out of the question.